Hey everyone, good evening. Today, I want to break down a terrifying aviation incident that happened just yesterday at Toronto Pearson International Airport. A Delta Airlines jet, arriving from Minneapolis, crash-landed and flipped upside down on the runway. Miraculously, all 80 passengers and crew survived. But this isn't an isolated case. This is one of several major aviation incidents already this year. So, what's going on? And is flying becoming less safe in 2025? Let's dive in. On February 17, 2025, Delta Connection Flight 4819, operated by Endeavour Air, took off from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, headed for Toronto. The aircraft, a Bombardier CRJ-900LR, was carrying 76 passengers and 4 crew members. Around 2:45 p.m. local time, as the plane approached Toronto Pearson, things took a terrifying turn. Upon landing, the aircraft made a hard impact, causing it to overturn and come to rest upside down near the intersection of runways 23 and 15. Eyewitnesses described the shocking moment, saying they saw the plane slam into the ground before flipping. Emergency crews rushed to the site. Incredibly, all 80 people on board survived, but 21 passengers were injured. 3 people, including a child, were critically hurt and transported to local hospitals. Rescue teams had to cut through parts of the aircraft to get people out, but passengers inside had already started unbuckling, crawling over seats, and helping each other escape. Now, weather might have played a role. Toronto had just received over 20 inches of snow, and winds were gusting up to 64 kilometers per h. However, at the time of landing, the runways were reported to be dry. Investigators are now working to determine if wind shear or mechanical failure played a role. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada, TSB, is leading the investigation, with assistance from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB. One of the first steps is retrieving the aircraft's black boxes, which record flight data and cockpit audio. These devices help investigators piece together exactly what happened in the moments leading up to the crash. Experts will also analyze the condition of the aircraft before landing, the pilot's decisions and communications with air traffic control, weather conditions and wind speeds, and any potential mechanical failures. This process can take weeks or even months before we get a final answer. But this Delta crash isn't the only aviation scare we've seen this year. On January 5th, a United Airlines Boeing 737 had to make an emergency landing after an engine failure mid-flight. On January 19th, a Lufthansa Airbus A320 skidded off the runway in Frankfurt during heavy rain. And on February 10th, a Japan Airlines flight suffered severe turbulence, injuring 14 people. Aviation experts are beginning to question whether there's a pattern here. Is this just bad luck, or are airlines cutting corners on maintenance and training? The aircraft involved was a Bombardier CRJ-900LR, a regional jet that's been in service since the early 2000s. It's generally considered safe, with thousands of these jets in operation worldwide. But this crash raises serious questions about how well these aircraft handle extreme weather. In 2019, an American Eagle CRJ-900 had a hard landing in Chicago under similar conditions. In 2022, a Lufthansa CityLine CRJ-900 suffered nose gear failure on landing. Now, pilots and engineers will be looking at whether this aircraft model needs any safety improvements. Survivors have been sharing their terrifying experiences. One passenger said, "It felt like a normal landing until we suddenly hit the ground way too hard. Before I knew it, I was upside down." Another wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "We had no warning, just a loud crash, and then we were on the ceiling. Absolute nightmare." Yet despite the fear, many passengers praised the crew for their quick thinking. Right now, 2 major runways at Toronto Pearson remain closed while investigators work. Delta Airlines has issued a statement saying they are cooperating fully, and Endeavour Air has grounded several CRJ-900s for additional inspections. So, what do you think? Is this just an unlucky streak of aviation incidents, or are safety standards slipping? Let me know in the comments below. And if you fly often, would you still feel safe getting on a Delta regional flight after this? Thankfully, everyone survived this terrifying ordeal, but this crash raises major concerns about regional airline safety in 2025. I'll keep you updated as the investigation unfolds, so make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the latest breaking news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.